is hurting Israel more than helping Israel by making the rest of the world, it's contrary to what Israel stands for. And I think it's a big mistake.
All right, so that's President Biden explaining how he will explain Israel's new foreign policy. The president's justification for tightening the leash on Israel. He and his team clearly care more now about their domestic political agenda than they do the American hostages held by Hamas in Gaza. From Barak Ravid of Axios, there have been several discussions inside the administration in recent weeks about a possible military operation into Rafah. That's where the hostages are. And the bottom line was the Biden administration can't allow it to happen. Batya Ungar-Sargon is here, opinion editor at Newsweek, author of the new book, as you can see behind her, Second Class. Congratulations on that. You know, Batya, like, we understand what the domestic political considerations are here. How is it that the pro-Hamas wing of the Democratic Party, and kudos to them, because this is politics, they got the world, and specifically in America, to focus entirely on the Palestinians suffering above ground in Gaza and to completely forget the hostages being raped, being tortured below ground in Gaza?
It's a great question. I want to start by saying I completely support their right to do that as Americans, right? I don't want to be like the Democratic Party that only supports democracy when people agree with them. I don't agree with this ceasefire platform, but I 100% support the right of Muslim Americans to say we are going to turn this into our #1 issue and we're going to organize around it. That is how democracy works. And like you said, Leland, kudos to them for doing that. The problem is that President Biden is now creating international foreign policy in order to speak to Dearborn. And what he's telegraphing to the rest of the world is, first of all, nonsense. The idea that I don't believe that Israel is losing somehow because they are defending their people, right? The idea that somehow they are sacrificing something more important by trying to eviscerate Hamas is ludicrous, right? They're doing the most important thing, which is trying to eliminate an enemy. But second of all, in doing this, in choosing this way to pursue this topic, President Biden is not only sort of betraying an ally, he's leaving on the table a much more effective way of both helping the Palestinians in Gaza and rescuing the hostages, which is putting pressure on Qatar. I don't understand why this is never on the table. It was Joe Biden who decided that Qatar would be a major non-NATO ally a year ago. What use is that if he's not going to use it in order to pressure them to help these people?
Well, either pressure on Qatar or pressure on the Egyptians that we give billions upon billions to, or pressure on the Jordanians that we give billions or billions to, or pressure on the Turks that are NATO allies. Look, President Biden seems to put the Palestinian suffering all on Israel, which is interesting. And he's doing it for political reasons. As you pointed out, we all understand why. John Fetterman, also of a state that is very important to Joe Biden, Pennsylvania, has a different look. Take a listen.
I grieve for the loss of any innocent Palestinian, Israeli soldiers, anyone. It's all tragic, and there is a lot of blood. But every drop of it belongs on the hands of Hamas, and only with Hamas.
He speaks to a working class group in Pennsylvania. Do they understand something about Hamas?
I think that you can judge the American working class by looking at people who have the temperature, people like John Fetterman. And he is not afraid to say what he believes. And you can see that his polling is excellent, right? He's clearly speaking directly to his supporters.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.